1744. Good luck. That should be green there. 1200, nearly 1300 games of rapid. That's very, very good. I've done 200 and something. Where am I? 248. Just come up to 250. I've just been playing bullets, so I've got to really slow the pace down here. You've got to try and play at the right speed with the time control you're playing, or you're just much more likely to go wrong. Goes a very early f4. Wow. That is bold. Okay. I wonder whether I can just go forward and forward here, try and create some tricks. Here, I mean, I guess you can check, but I can come up. I'm going to go d4 just to stop white playing d4. It might be a blunder, but it looks like an interesting blunder if it is. Okay, so the knight has come forward. So can't I just charge the knight immediately? There's no bishop check now. You don't take the pawn, I don't think. So I think I just hit the knight straight away, drive you back, threaten to push. If takes, check, and then we're threatening a check here. So I think I can play e5. Threat to capture the knight as well and bring the pawn across. If take, I've got queen check. And if you push up, I've got check winning the rook, but the queen could potentially get trapped. It's not without risk, this sort of idea. But I've got a simple idea just to take and double the pawns up on the side of the board, just developing castle. Again, not without risk. It's very bold to push forward like my opponent did. But now I've got bishop up with a threat to push. I guess you just go here. So I'm just going to push the pawn on again. Maybe knight up to support my centre. See where this knight goes. But again, I've got to check if you come forward. You can easily block, but it messes the structure up a bit. Or I could just ignore it and just develop the knights. Right, so the knight's gone there. So I don't think I want to push this one. You've got bishop down coming. So I might have extended myself a little bit here. So can I do this? Bishop down is the potential problem. I don't really want to go b5 here. I might have to though. So h6 takes, check, pawn up, bishop, check. It feels a bit dicey, doesn't it? It feels a bit dicey. Knight up, bishop down. And that's not that easy to defend. I mean, I've got knight across, but it's awkward. I don't see anything better than going b5. I don't think the immediate sack works here, but you might do it. So I'm just trying to stop bishop here. I've still got bishop here to take the knight potentially, but it is not without risk. It frees up the bishop for a diagonal. You can take a pawn here, run the risk of getting pinned, but it's probably a free pawn. Oh, and that I didn't expect. Okay. I was expecting just to take the pawn there. So I've probably messed up this opening. I think both of us have probably not played it too brilliantly, but... It's interesting, isn't it, what my opponent's done here? I'll have to guard the pawn. Interesting. So you can still take a pawn, though I'm getting some counterplay. Bishop up might be a move as well, and then you might end up having to run back, or the queen's getting trapped. Chooses to castle, so I'm probably going to just sack this pawn. Yeah, it's not worth trying to keep a pawn without the king being safe. Just try and get castled. Right, now I'm castled, I can try and really play, so... Bishop up, right now you'd have to go back. Or bishop here, and I get on the attacking diagonal. Interesting. Okay, so now bishop up, you're gonna go here. So can I create some sort of trick here? I guess you just go here. So I don't think I can. But if I go here, I can create a square for my knight. And I've got knight here, haven't I? No, I'm just gonna go here, develop. I'm probably gonna bring the knight something like this. 7 pawns against 4, but we're up a knight. So knight for 3 pawns. Again, at least it's not dull and boring. It's going to be an interesting game, but we've probably both gone a bit wrong in the opening. So now I'm looking at this bishop move again and see where the queen's going to go. You can't drop the bishop back now. You could the knight, I guess, but maybe bishop up, knight across, bishop up somewhere. Yeah, I'm going to play bishop up with a view to maybe just bishop here or the knight across. I don't really want to leave the knight on the side of the board, but equally I don't want to come over and walk into some sort of tactic blocking my bishop. So it comes across, so rook over might be a move now. This is a little bit vulnerable though. Actually, I'm going to go here and pin the knight. Now I'm threatening knight across with an issue with the knight and then potentially bring the pawn over. It might be good for my opponent though, it might be. This bishop is very annoying, I don't want that there. So maybe knight across at the right moment and get rid of that bishop. That bishop feels stronger than my knight. Just click anywhere and it clears those markings. Okay, it comes forward to attack the bishop. I think I can just safely drop back here. The knight's pinned now, so knight across is going to be a move. Maybe I can ignore it and just play knight up. But no, I don't think I should. I think I should drop back. Bide my time. This pawn is well guarded right now. Rook across is a tempo, but knight over is a real threat to the knight while the queen stays there. I think you need to shift that queen. But obviously you don't want to lose your knight in the process. If you go here, I've still got knight up. You might need to play a move like rook up then. Because you can't go here either. So rook up might be needed. Oh, the queen's just gone now. I think that just loses, does it? Knight up should be a piece. So then we're going to be 2 pieces for 3 pawns. As long as I don't get my piece trapped, of course, and I can actually keep it. And get the cursor off the board so there's no accidental slips. Okay, bishop comes forward. So I assume I take with my bishop rather than the knight, but if I go with the knight I do attack. Then I'm kind of in a little bit of an issue here. Yeah, I'm just going to take with the bishop. Get the piece. Now there's a slight issue here, but rook across looks fine. See, I don't want to get this lost, but I'm going to play rook across. We're up 2 pieces for 3 pawns now, so we can kind of give one back and we're still okay, or okay-ish. Now if you can undermine my knight, it's guarding the bishop, so we could end up coming into a storm here and could be a bit of a problem. Yeah, that's exactly what my opponent's aimed for, so I'm going to have to drop the bishop back and hope I'm not getting it trapped. If takes, I'm okay to take back, I think. Well, I'm going to do it, so I've pre-moved that. Don't really need to pre-move, though it is rapid. Okay, queen comes forward. Now my bishop is guarded, so I assume I want to push up and attack the queen here. So I'm going to do that. The bishop's protected. And then try and bring the bishop back to a natural square. It feels good now. It feels like I've got a good position. See, my opponent was hoping I'd have played a move like knight up and blundered checkmate there. Now a move like knight up is very strong here. Or even here, I can go any which way. I'm going to go this way, attack them. And my bishop is still guarded. Yeah, it should be over any time this game now. Okay, goes there, so I'm going to take the rook. No. Let's get the bishop back so we don't risk getting it lost. Then knight here and bishop where the knight is, something like that. I could probably just safely take that. Take. Giant pawn. That's probably fine, but I don't really need to. I'm just going to drop back. Maybe take with the f pawn to pressure the queen, but the h pawn is obviously safer. You should generally take in over. So that's probably what I'll do. Apologies if the mic is picking up the wind noise there. It's blowing a bit of a storm outside. Okay, that's just wants the knight to come in over, get a tempo on the queen. It's still protected by the bishop. Now we've got square for the bishop here, or we can just take here. So, do I do it? No, I think I do. I'm going to grab the pawn now. Maybe just queen up looks sensible. Rook guards each other. I've just got to be paying attention here and not do something really dumb stupid. I know there's a pawn hanging there, but I'm trying to obviously get the queen off the board. Okay, so now I'm going to take the pawn and we're going to threaten checkmate. Or some sort of checkmate at some point soon. The queen does obviously guard the pawn, but there must be some checkmate or other here. There may even be a knight sack, I'm not sure. Nothing wrong with white playing on just in case, because you never know. We do blunder all the time. Okay, pawn up, so queen check, and the king has to come across. I don't think I even need to think much about that one, so I'm going to throw the check in. No, is there a checkmate finish? Like knight check looks strong, or knight threatening a check looks strong. Queen takes. Knight up, queen takes, pawn takes. Probably cleanly winning. Rook over. What about knight just takes the pawn? Just grab the pawn and hit the bishop. You can't take back because you have to defend the g2 square with the queen, or it's checkmate. Still not an immediate mate threat though. If I move the queen somewhere now, the knight's threatening a check where the queen is. So it's very difficult for white to do anything here. I mean, I can allow takes and I should be fine. So I should be able to allow that. Now I've got knight here threatening here, so I can probably just allow bishop takes. Maybe even rook across to attack the queen. I just don't want to do something really dumb stupid. Like here, takes. There's no immediate queen check, is there? So I'm going to do it. I'm going to go and attack there. If bishop takes, I can just take. There's no queen check. I just need to make sure I don't blunder some silly sloppy repetition, a 3-4. That's the only real risk here now. But trade the rook for the bishop, and it's one less piece my opponent's got to try and trick me with. And I'm threatening to crash through now. I mean, even a bailout move, queen takes, knight takes. Just get the queen off the board, everything's going to be winning. So takes, I'll take back so I can take next move. Rook across might have to be played. There's a potential nasty knight takes, but again, I've just got to make sure there's no trick like here. Check, that would be covered. No threefold repetition, that's really the risk here. Our queen goes back offering the queen trade, so I think you might as well just do that. Any reason not to? No, I don't see it. I'm just going to push my pawn up. As long as these pawns have got moves, there can't be a stalemate. So I'm safe just to push the pawn forward here. Okay, that's a check. Guess we just sidestep. And pawn up is likely my next move, depending on what white does. Okay, we get the win.